All right, welcome to this Google Forms for Conferencing with Students. This is part 3 of a series of videos where we're talking about building a form that you can use as a teacher to conference with students, collecting data, and then ultimately sorting, doing something with that data to maybe help make decisions on groups or where you need to follow up with different students. So at this point, we have created the form. Let me go back to my demo form. This was the form I left off last time where I had put in maybe class hour as a question, student as a question, filling in my fake students. And let me hit done on that. Notice as I click on a question in my form, when I'm in edit mode, it opens up so I can make changes to it. I hit done and that closes the question up. Here's a question I added about progress of the work the student was doing. So these are checkbox type choices. I also listed an other box, so if I needed to type something up, I could. Next steps for that student, a compliment I potentially would give that student. And then any comments, and this I chose, just to point this out, this I chose as a paragraph text type of question so that I have enough room to write if I need to write. So this is still the editing of the form. When you want to see the actual form that you will fill out, that's this button right here, the View Live Form. So if I click that, it's going to open up. And this is the form in the version that I would want to bookmark or send to myself and maybe bookmark it on a mobile device. I'll show you that in a minute. You'll notice I did choose a theme as I was doing some editing. So if I go back over to the actual form, I didn't mention this before, but up here at the top, you're in edit questions mode when you're fixing up your questions. There's this change theme button. If you click on that, a bunch of themes open up on the right side over here that have already preset banners and such. So maybe I want to choose this one. And it gives a look, a certain fonts are used, it just kind of spices up your form a little bit. If you like that visual look, that's there for you as well. After you're done changing the theme, you can click edit questions and that takes you back to the question editing mode. All right, so again, I went to view live form. Let's go over here. Let me refresh it to take on the new theme that I chose, which is there. There we go. So now if I'm planning to do this on my computer, I want to make a bookmark right to this. So I'm thinking ahead to, I'm sitting down with a student. I don't want to have to dig through my Google Drive and find that form. I want to make a bookmark to this. So again, you want to make sure you're at the live view of the form. And to make a bookmark, you can come up here and click on the little star. And when you click on the star, make this a little bigger so you can, it's not going to make that much bigger, is it? The star lets you give a name. So if you just wanted to call it conference or CONF, something so that it's short and to the point. And then for folder, I would choose to put this right on your bookmark bar. So this will add right on the bookmark bar, which is right here below the address bar. If you have a lot of stuff like I do, whenever you add something, it's going to be all the way at the end. So if I click on the arrow at the end of my bookmark bar, these are other bookmarks that aren't even able to make it on screen right now because I have so many. Here's that conferencing form. So I could actually click and drag, or I can move this anywhere on my bookmark bar that I want. So maybe I want it right here because it's something I plan to use a lot. So that way, when I'm sitting down working with kids, I can click that. It'll come up. Again, as the form can have as many or as few questions as you want, I thought these might be things that would help me as I talk with students. So then when I click on these things, I can choose second hour. I can choose this is the student I'm talking to. We talked about this standard. The student is currently at note taking. Their next steps are making sure that they cite their sources correctly from their notes. Compliment I maybe gave was they use several sources. And then if I needed to give a comment here, I could, type out a comment if I needed to. And again, you only need to fill in what you need to fill in, and I hit submit, and then that goes into my spreadsheet, which we'll get to in the next video. Now, if you plan to do this on a mobile device, or you made your form such that you can fill it out quickly, maybe you have an iPad or a mobile phone, either iPhone or Android, how you can get this form to yourself is when you're at the form. So let me refresh here so that I'm going to go ahead and reload the page so nothing's on it. I'm going to copy, click and highlight on the address. I'm going to copy that address for this live form view. I'm going to go over to my email and I'm going to compose myself an email to myself. So Chad Kafka, oops, didn't spell my name right. That never helps. Let's try that again. And form. And I'm going to paste that link in and send that to myself. Now, let's see if I did this right here. Let me switch over to, here's my phone. Okay, now if you're not using the Gmail app, I would encourage you to put that on your device so you can get to your work emails if you need to or when you need to. This will work on Gmail is available for the Android and also for iPad or iPhone. So if I go into Gmail, here is that newest email I just sent to myself. So I'm going to open that up. Here's the link for the form. So I'm going to open that up. That'll open in my browser. And this is the same no matter if you're on iPhone or Android. When that form opens, you should be able to tap this up here on Android, these three dots. When I tap those three dots, one of the choices here is Add to Home Screen. This is going to make a button on my home screen, just like my other apps are. This is going to make a button, so whenever I want to fill this out, I can just tap and this will open up. So let me do that. Add to Home Screen. I'll just take this out. You can name it whatever you want. If you want to name it something short and sweet and to the point, I'm just going to put conference, hit add, and that should add on my page over here. So here's that newest icon that just popped up. So that essentially is a bookmark on my home screen. Now, if you're doing this on iPhone or on an iPad, when you open the link, I believe you have to be in the Safari browser, and they have the same, you can tap a menu choice, and they have the same feature called Add to Home Screen, and it'll put a button just like this. So now I'm talking with a kid or a student. I want to fill that out quickly. I just tap that, it comes right up. Now here's my which class hour. This is for second hour, which student. This is, let's say, this student. Which standard did we talk about? Here's where we talked about gathering their work. Here's their next steps. Here's the compliment I gave. Now here's the other nice thing about doing this on a mobile device, whether it's a tablet or a phone. If you did need to type something out and you don't type very fast on your phone or your tablet, when you tap into a text box on both Android and iPhone, the keyboard has a microphone. So here's the microphone. I can actually dictate in what I want to say. So if I hold the phone up to my mouth or close to my mouth and I say, student was working on word choice, period. Student needs to make sure to use proper verb tense, period. Turn that microphone off. So I just dictated in what it was that I wanted to say, and that took me 2 seconds. And now I can hit, if I get rid of my my microphone choice here, I'll go back to keyboard and scroll up, and I can click submit, and now that'll go into my form as well. Some people don't like dictating into their phone. Another option for that would be you could also have the student type what you talked about, hand the device to them, or have them dictate in what it is that they worked about as a way of them reflecting. These just give many different options for doing that. So that's how you can put it on your tablet or your phone for quick access. So if you're moving around, you don't want to take your laptop with you, that is just another option. So that is it for showing you how to create the form and how to get the form where you need it for when you fill it out. And there's slides in the slide presentation that reference that. And in the next step, I will show you how to do some sorting of the data. Thanks for watching.